What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Staincast. We got, of course, Star Wars. I could
It's fine.
spend exactly.
Okay, it's
Just
fucking fine.
know, you guys saw the post. No explanation needed. It's fucking time to jump right into it. We're
Long over.
starting. We're starting the way it was intended to be watched. The original trilogy first. New Hope,
Yes, sir.
episode four. Episode four. We got, of course, me. I always say me myself. We got myself. We got Hag, and of course we got Mr. Smoke. It's been a while. Welcome back to the podcast.
Been a while. Had to pop out for Star Wars. I'll be back.
Yeah,
Well, got to show some love to the franchise.
of course. And we're excited. We're trying to mix it up. We're trying to have lots of guests for Star Wars because it's a big event for all of us. I mean, Star Wars means so much to me. I know it means so much to both of you.
Yeah,
So
Star Wars.
yeah, so we're excited. I'm ready to just hop right into it. But before we do have this newest episode of The Last of Us, episode 7.
Shit tough. Surprise, surprise.
Yeah, Last of Us hasn't missed. I mean, Bella Ramsey pulled up in this episode to show that she's just like Pedro. Like,
Dude, I'm
Yeah.
for the next episode too. You played the game, right, Hag?
of course.
I was gonna say, oh my, got all like the David stuff, dude. It's gonna be fucking fire, man. This
Where that's the next episode drops
Sunday,
this Sunday. Is the season finale when we're in Miami?
the weekend just before.
Oh, okay.
March is stacked. I was looking at like a calendar. There's like we get John Wick. We have a fucking show I watch. Succession comes out at the end of March. There's something else. Another big one.
Mando.
Yeah, Mando. Exactly.
Mando, I will say I did watch Mando. I know DL, you said you haven't yet. Smoke, I don't know if you have. It's tough. Of course, it's Mando. What?
It came out last night.
Came out today.
Oh, what the fuck? What day is it? Wednesday? Oh yeah.
Wednesday. Yeah.
It dropped at 3 a.m.
Yeah. I watched it when I got out of work today.
Okay.
Pretty good. I like.
And we have Scream this month too. Yeah, there's a lot of fucking movies coming out
Scream
this
6.
month.
I'm looking forward to that. I feel like there's no bad Scream movies. Like some are definitely better than others, but I feel like there's bad.
I will say I watched the first. I watched Scream 2022 last year when it first came out, and I didn't like it too much. I rewatched it last night, and I think it was actually pretty good.
It's entertaining, I think. I mean, name whoever the guy from The Boys is Telegraph.
Jack Wade.
That guy, and obviously because it's the formula. But other than that, I thought it was good.
Jack Wade yet again pulling some bad bitch for no reason.
Oh, of course, though. What else?
But that's enough about Scream. Just watch The Last of Us. It's tough.
Great episode. You got like 3 episodes left, so if you're looking to catch up and get caught up before the season finale, because I'm sure the internet's gonna fucking explode when that shit happens, because there's gonna be people that are still shocked on the ending of the game that came out 10 years ago.
You're
So
gonna do a Staincast on The Last of Us?
yeah.
Eventually, yes.
Yeah, eventually. Like, it's definitely in the cards because I mean, it's just so relevant. It's like one, it's relevant, and two, it's so easy when you have a video game and a fucking show.
I'm in the midst of writing the outline for TV shows and how we're gonna cover them.
I was to say because The Last of Us, that's one of my favorite games of all time, and this show has been so good, man.
Yeah, but I guess then fuck this. It's time. We're hopping into it. It's fucking. You guys have waited long enough. We've waited long enough.
Absolutely.
It's time.
Shout out Evan, by the way, for fucking speeding this up, for getting us into the fast lane to get Star Wars to you guys as soon as possible. Because he's the one who really started putting that stuff in motion.
Yeah.
Had us chatting.
Yeah, we were originally gonna save Star Wars for May the 4th, but we decided to push it up 2 months because Evan made a nice comment asking about Star Wars. And I mean,
Star Wars is also fucking goated. So
yeah,
nowadays it depends on who you ask. But the stuff we're covering for the next couple of weeks, good shit.
We're in for some good times. But I know we both have been chatting about this outside of it. We've been holding Star Wars off from watching it until this. And let me tell you that watching episode 4 earlier got me right in the mood that I needed to be.
It's so interesting, episode 4, because you can tell how much George, I mean, just jumping right into it, you can really tell how, like, I mean, on one hand, you have these creatures that he made in this movie that are still around, like in Book of Boba Fett, Mandalorian era shows, which, first of all, you got to give a fucking tip your hat to that, because that's insane. When you have characters that were made, what is this, 76?
It's like almost 50 years.
Yeah, exactly. So whatever the time there, like, I feel like that's impressive on one hand. On the other hand, it's kind of weird. Like, you can really see, like, 'cause I haven't watched episode 4. God knows how long, man. It's been a lot longer than I thought. You can, like, some of the characters I feel like just change a lot. Like C-3PO in particular, he is not even the same character in this movie that he is in all the rest of them. He's so quiet in this movie. Mm-hmm. Like, he literally, like, I mean, you have in the more recent trilogy,
Don't.
He's like a fucking main character, but like in this movie, he's like turning off like in between like and during dialogue sequences. Like, whoa, what the fuck? What kind of C-3PO are we looking at right now? I think that was the most interesting. At least like when I'm just at a glance, like just thinking about it, like
I mean
the fact that like I mean it's the movie that started it all, so of course some things are going to change.
Even like that, like there are some things that you could see where George Lucas definitely didn't know that like Luke and Leia were going to be siblings and stuff like that, because it's just how you see how it evolved in real time.
Yeah, because I feel like Luke and Leia are supposed to be a love interest. I mean, I pretty much it's pretty obvious in New Hope. They're pretty fucking
touchy.
Mm-hmm. What was I going to? Oh yeah, we can just jump into our favorite and least favorite characters. I mean, Smoke, if you want to start us off.
I think I can more than guess what Smoke's about to say right now.
I feel like it's
New Hope's tough. New Hope's kind of tough.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I feel like there's not like it's hard because like in a vacuum, like you want to say it's like Luke is my favorite and least favorite character because he's not a fully developed character yet. Like he's a whiny kid the whole movie.
Yeah.
I want to go and get the batteries and this and that.
Yeah.
But obviously, you see what he becomes, and it's like, holy shit! Like you have to appreciate the journey a little bit. So I mean, I don't know, honestly. I mean, for bad characters, I feel like this is a pretty tight movie for the most part. There's nobody who is really bad. I mean, I would love to hear what you guys think about that.
Hey, you want to go first?
Sure. I mean, I'll just get it out of my way with my favorite, and I'm sure that both of you could see this coming from a mile away. It's Darth Vader. Anakin is my favorite character from fiction of all time, any form of him. So of course, Vader's going to be that. But like you said, Smoke, this is a tight knit movie in terms of bad characters. No, not a massive cast. I mean, even the side characters, like some of it's overacted and whatnot. But again, that's just chalked up to this is how they acted in the 70s and 80s. There's nothing really we can do about that. But
it fits the cartoon.
Yeah.
It's me.
I'm gonna speak a little more on Vader, quick.
Yeah, no, you got it. I did just cut out for a second, so I wasn't sure if you finished.
No, you're good. Just Vader. I mean, from the minute he steps on screen, that man is a menace. And especially after, someone who's watched the prequels and knows how those go, you see Anakin in Vader and his movements and his well, not maybe his movements in this movie, but like in his mannerisms, you can still see how they're similar and they're the same person, and it hits.
Man, it's surprising seeing James Earl Jones with so much energy too. I feel like, I mean, obviously he got older and stuff in the newer stuff, but like his voice is like he's so quick when he talks in this movie. Like he definitely slows it up a bit in the next couple movies because in this movie, like he's like you are trouble, you are part of the Rebel Alliance and a traitor. Take her away. Like he's really quick the way he talks. Where he gets like a little bit more like he kind of like all his words start to have a little bit more purpose in the new ones. I'm not sure what the exact word for. He just talks slower. And I feel like that kind of catches me off guard. And, of course, the stand-in, the Scottish guy or whatever it was that actually was doing the lines.
Yeah.
That shit's hideous.
That's so
for anyone who's never heard of it before, just look up Darth Vader. The Scottish guy who's doing the lines, and then they put fucking James Earl Jones over it.
That's like the voice of Darth Vader, I feel like, too. Like, he was really pissed off when they dubbed James Earl Jones' voice over him.
Yeah.
Which is tough.
Why the hell would he be Vader sounding like that? Like,
yeah.
But DL, if you want to get into your favorite and least favorite.
I mean, Luke, obviously, just because, I mean, like, the story's told around him, and it's going to be told around him for the next couple movies now. Like Smoke said, I agree. Like, he obviously, like, this is his, like, he's kind of, like he's at his starting point right now, so it's hard to be like, oh, yeah, I love this character when, like, he literally hasn't even fought Vader. He hasn't done any of that stuff yet, so... Obviously, in the next couple episodes, it's going to be a lot more to speak about. But really, right now, it's just he's a rebellious teenager who wants to get his whatever stupid things that crap. What was that? I meant to write it down. He's like, oh, me and my friends are going to go get some not particle accelerators, some stupid like sci-fi term that just made it sound like it was like
the power converters.
The power converters. Yeah, me and my friends are going to get some power converters. Like yes, classic teenage activities.
Fucking from what was it Bocce Station?
Yeah.
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 what was it? Another favorite character I like is I mean, obviously Darth Vader. That's fucking easy. I enjoy Han Solo in this movie. I think he obviously is like he's just handsome. Like that's kind of Harrison Ford's like shtick on the thing. He's just a super handsome fucking cowboy. But I think he still does a good job with the role. Like he does a great job of being a douchebag. And I mean, I'm sure some of that's probably pulling from his real life persona. But
well, yeah. I mean, look at him as Indiana Jones too. He's literally the same fucking thing.
Yeah. I just think like he definitely, and I think it's just the dynamic between him, Luke, Princess Leia. Like he's kind of just like the foil for all the other characters. Like he really just like kind of is the reason for, like I don't know, like all the debates and him calling Princess Leia your worship and stuff like that. I think that's funny.
It just of him being the scoundrel, the what is it, scruffy looking nerf herder. Yeah. Like it just plays off of the very high kept Princess Leia and the very whiny Luke very well, and especially as we'll see as we go over these movies in the next few weeks, how they evolve together and grow into what we see them in episodes 6.
I mean, to be honest, the entire the big three, the three who were billed first, Leia, Han, and Luke, I think all of them did a fantastic job, especially considering like this is such a new genre. Like it's so hard to like kind of put yourself in those shoes, like now, because how fucking ginormously popular sci-fi and fantasy is. But like this is like new water. There's been movies before, but they're like popularizing sci-fi culture is like it's fucking Star Wars. Like you have a couple things after that and before, but like in terms of like cultural impact, like these guys didn't even know what they were doing when they were making the movie. Like they didn't realize what was going to happen.
And it was a hit, and they did it with such, and like the practical effects still look so.
Oh, they look fucking amazing.
And I guess we can move into make or break moments of the movies with this, because I'm going to go into just starting off with a break with that fucking scene that they added in with Jabba and Han.
Oh,
what is that?
Mos Eisley.
Dude, it's so stupid. The entire thing is like, it's just all the George Lucas edits are so pointless, man. And then like having Han shoot first, like who cares? Like it's really not that serious.
Well, no, Han shoot first, and then they shot at the same time, and
then they moved it. Like that looks so bad.
And then originally, fucking that Jabba scene was supposed to be a dude, and then they CGI'd that nasty ass CGI that they won't fucking clean up of Jabba that we got. And then fucking like if you watch Harrison Ford walk, they literally lift him up and put him over the tail because fucking
there.
And you're like
that scene is so unnecessary. And then they have Boba Fett at the end for no reason.
It's unnecessary. Like, why touch something when you have perfection? Like,
yeah, it was mad weird. Like, it definitely, like, it just you can just tell. Even I don't know, maybe it's just because we saw the original version and shit. But like, it just like you said, it has no purpose being in the movie. Like, it doesn't add anything.
We'll see this continue as we talk about more of the George Lucas edits. That
oh my fucking god!
Yeah, we'll get to it. We'll get to it when we get there.
Ugh. Get me right.
Another scene. I mean, just in general, Obi-Wan's hood is fucking ridiculous in this movie.
It's
like
fucking tiny.
It's so pointed and massive.
Yeah, like even when he puts on, like I feel like what's his name, Alec. Like he doesn't even like know what to do with it because he puts it on. And that shit's fucking pointed up. He's trying to walk and it's like falling over. It's fucking ginormous.
It's unnecessarily large.
Yeah, it's like I get they're supposed to be space monks, but holy shit, bro! No monks are walking around with fucking hoods like that. Like Jesus.
Yeah, but I guess going into actual good scenes that I liked, I mean, of course, Vader and Obi-Wan's fight. Mm-hmm. Well, fight because of course we didn't get
the limitations.
With the limitations of back.
The reimagined one of that whoever made that on YouTube is so good. Yeah. Whoever hasn't seen that yet, if you're trying to see like how that fight actually would have went down if it came out, in common era,
we'll put that in the description. We'll link to it. Okay. For those on YouTube, because that's definitely something worth watching if you haven't. But yeah, it means a lot, and especially when like now that we've gotten Obi-Wan the show, and we see the last interaction between Vader and Anakin, where Obi-Wan, I mean with Obi-Wan and Anakin, where Obi-Wan says that my friend is truly dead. Now we see why he says Anakin's dead, and then it just especially after getting Obi-Wan, this makes this fight in Episode 4 hit even more.
I feel like Obi-Wan really helped Episode 4, like as a whole, like leading from 3 to 4. That was
the same thing with Rogue One. I feel like Rogue One also did a fucking fantastic job with that too.
Yeah, they built out Episode 4 really well with those two movies.
I will say if Episode 4 didn't have the movies surrounding it, it would be bottom of the pack.
Yeah, it would be in the same conversation as 1 and 2. I think, in my opinion, it would
I
definitely
agree.
be like where it's like if you're on the marathon, of course, watch it. But like if you're like, all right, I want to watch a good Star Wars movie, that's not top 3. Like you have, I mean, like the top 3 is for me. I think is pretty.
Yeah,
It's pretty open shut. Like I don't. The order, sure, is up for debate, but the top
the 3
3
that are in there. I know mine as well. We'll cover that once we finish the Star Wars as a whole.
Another thing I like is I like that roller coaster kind of motion that they're doing when they're going into like the trench. Like they kind of have like the camera, like they're trying to make it look like the camera's like on the front of the X-wing, and they have like it almost like goes into the trench like a roller coaster where it goes down and it like pulls up. I think that was a really cool shot.
They did a lot of those with miniatures and
almost everything in this movie is miniatures and fucking yeah. I mean, there's no CGI. Like shit is fucking like everything is like even with the lightsaber, like you could see the cut where they're putting the lightsaber in their hand. Like it's fucking it's honestly genius, and that's why I enjoy it so much because they're using. The practical is like they're using it as their fallback for everything. Whereas like I feel like it's opposite now, where it's like CGI is the fallback and the practical is just like kind of getting the base of it. And it's like, but for this movie, it's like when you don't have that crutch of being all right, I'm gonna pay some guy X amount of money to fucking make this look better, and it's like there's no love. Like you're having someone else make the movie for you. But when you're literally like George Lucas is literally making like a fucking sitting beside these miniatures and literally like looking at the fuck has the camera right beside it, it's like it's just something different about it.
Agreed, and we'll see as the series evolves. It's like it's still it hits to get Star Wars in the modern style with the CGI where they can do all these crazy.
Of course, because the lightsabers look so good. Exactly, like it's such a shame because they look so
modern
good.
Modern lightsabers look so good, but it's also
they
like
sound now too. Like they sound great too.
Yeah,
modern lightsabers.
I will still say that like. Kylo Ren's lightsaber is one of my favorite sounding lightsabers ever.
Oh, like the Force Awakens, that like dark, like with that like, nighttime snow falling with his lightsaber, it looks fucking beautiful. But the problem is that it's that trilogy. Yeah, but like it's and it sucks too because I feel like obviously there's always gonna be people asking what ifs. Like, can you imagine if the OT was made when the 1, 2, and 3 were made? Like, obviously the CGI wouldn't be. Yeah, it's good, but like you obviously have new technology.
1, 2, and 3 is phenomenal still, though. We have things
like
Grievous and Mustafar.
True. No, you're right. Like it almost like it makes you wonder where it's like, how good would that final fight between Vader and Luke look? Like it already was good. Don't get me wrong, it was already fucking amazing. Like now all of a sudden you have like you can have Luke jumping around, you can have Vader fucking tossing shit at him. Like you could have some crazy shit going. I don't like asking the question because I mean it's gonna make you disappointed with the result. But I mean, you could have some crazy shit going on.
Yeah, but Smoke, I don't know if you have some moments you want to throw in that we haven't mentioned.
I feel like we kind of hit on them. I feel like again, like all the Lucas edits, easy one.
We're missing the best fucking part, the burning homestead.
I was just about to fucking say that.
Good parts now, or are you still on?
It's make or break. It's either
break.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just either one.
That shit goes so hard. Oh my god, when he's like, "Oh, if they tracked him, they must have been able to track us back home," and he's like, "Luke, don't," and he fucking then the score starts and the.
I was just about to fucking say that, bro. Literally. Just popped into my fucking head. The Unimind was busting on that one.
Yeah. Because I was thinking about, I'm like, wait a minute. Literally one of my favorite fucking pieces of music ever created. That shit's fucking beautiful.
So much iconic scenes. I feel even at the beginning when Luke's staring at the binary. The Force theme for the first time. That shit.
Oh, yeah.
Perfection. My favorite movie scenes, period. Like, incredible. And that, like, it was the defining moment for Star Wars. I feel like that was, like, Luke. In a nutshell. And then, of course, they butchered him, but...
We're not going to talk about that here.
Yeah, George Lucas and fucking John Williams are on a fucking murder spree for like fucking 20 years for straight, like with Indiana Jones, with fucking all the shit that they were cooking up. Like, the soundtrack in this movie is just fucking excellent. Like bare bones,
every Star Wars movie is excellent.
It's like even if you're not super interested with the story of this movie, because like it definitely has its slow parts, I'll admit it. But like the score is just like Smoke said, when that Force theme plays for the first time when he's looking at the sun, it's like it's just like it's a visceral, like it just makes you feel. Yeah, it makes you. Oof.
It's just like it's a space opera. Like it's.
Throw back to when it actually was a space opera.
Exactly, the music is so damn important. For some reason, when my most Spotify, Anakin's Betrayal is on there. I was just listening to it the other day, and all of a sudden it just like popped. I'm like, oh my god,
that's sweet. Well, my newest pregame thing is to blast Duel of the Fates in the shower as loud as possible. That's been hitting, bro.
That for like 7 hours straight one time.
It's that, and then fucking when Chet and I are both done getting ready, we'll blast the Cantina music in the living room.
That's hideous as motherfucker.
Yeah, that shit's fucking ridiculous.
Ugh. As I say what you want about George Lucas, but he actually has some fucking like ridiculous, like non-human based creations that he makes.
Those creatures that pulled up on Luke in that fucking bar are.
Oh yeah, that's another good. That's another good one.
Like you. I don't like you either.
I don't like you either.
He doesn't even get the Foley turn around again. He's like, I don't like you either.
And then it's like the only instance of blood we ever see in Star Wars when fucking Obi-Wan cuts off his arm.
Real good prosthetic. Real good.
It's a hollow arm.
Yeah, like it probably wasn't. It's like a fucking paper towel roll with the fucking gauntlet wrapped around it. That's literally what that shit probably is.
It's the charm behind it though. Mm-hmm. That's what makes this so great.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many fucking. This movie, like you said, it's just
the movie as a whole.
It's just shot to be so fucking perfect, and like it's just. It really puts you in like the Star Wars element where I'm sure he did like there's some situations where he doesn't, but I feel like for the most part, I think I remember George Lucas saying one time where like he tries his hardest to not use like any like man-made tools like in like the Star Wars universe. Mm-hmm. Like it kind of like puts you in that element where you'll have stuff like Ant-Man. Sorry, I had to bring it up. But when they go into the quantum realm and it's literally just like Earth, but like with a different backdrop, like everything else is the same. Like there's no atmospherics. There's no like, all right, we're in a different place right now. But like when you get to Star Wars, it's like, all right. The language isn't the same. The way they talk isn't the same. The way literally everything exists is so different.
Yeah, and like he uses common items as like the way he repurposes them to make them into what they are in Star Wars.
Yeah,
is ridiculous. It like you said, it adds to the world building. It's what made me fall in love with Star Wars. Is you can really feel yourself getting immersed into this world.
Like anyone who's like anyone who's super into like behind the scenes and that kind of stuff, just look at how they made this movie. I want you to think about all the excuses,
pennies, bro.
I want you to imagine Marvel making excuses nowadays and think about what they were working with and what they finished with. Like these guys are literally doing the craziest camera tricks, trying to fucking make space, trying to make these stars all light up. And we can't even afford. Nah, I'm not gonna be angry. I'm grateful. We're doing New Hope, so I'm not gonna be angry. But seriously, if you're curious about how this movie is made with no CGI, take a look. It's fucking amazing.
You say what you want about George Lucas, the writer, but the visionary, there's nothing on this planet that will ever be like George Lucas.
Agreed. And the most epic things about like I love watching him behind the scenes because you could tell how passionate he is about this story and about this movie, and the classic meme that comes up all the time is it's like poetry, it rhymes, like you could see like how into it he is and how much passion he put behind this project, and then what we finally see come of it as he was able to build.
Absolutely. I mean, there's so many great things to talk about. I mean, the one thing that was confusing to me is what the fuck was Obi-Wan like? George Lucas loves putting weird shit in like the first movies and then never returning back to him. What the fuck was Obi-Wan doing with his hands, making that fucking sound that scared the Sand people? What was he doing?
It was a Force scream.
Okay, because you have that shit from Episode 1 where they're doing their Force like running, and it's like that shit just disappears after that.
It was a Force scream similar to the one that Palpatine used in Episode 3.
Still weird as shit.
Agreed. But another thing that's weird and is Obi-Wan saying these are too precise for Sand people. Only Imperial stormtroopers are this accurate.
Yeah, even though they have shit aim.
You see them miss every single shot in the entire rest of the movie.
Yeah, I don't know about that one. I mean, he also is a senile old man. You can tell he's fucking. He got PTSD. He got dummy PTSD. But I mean, even that scene when he's fucking explaining to him like about his father and stuff, I like how he gives him the lightsaber. Beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Before the fall and all that stuff, it's like like after like nothing has benefited Star Wars more than building out the story, because it's like because now like you've seen all these movies and when you hear him talking about the fall and you see like the heartbreak in his eyes, it's like holy shit, man, like
he lived through this. Like you can believe he lived through that shit.
Or the one-off line that he said he fought with me in the Clone Wars, and then we get literally to see the Clone Wars and the entirety of it in the animated show. And it's Star Wars. I will say the best thing about Star Wars is its nonlinear storytelling. I'm a sucker for good nonlinear storytelling. We've talked about it before, and Star Wars knows how to do it perfectly. Getting these books and comics and TV shows set in all different time periods. Like right now, we're getting Mando, which is set post Episode 6, and we're getting Bad Batch, which is set immediately after Episode 3. Like we're like just being able to get all of these different points of views of the galaxy.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I mean, like even when he's like a more civilized weapon for a more civilized age, like I don't know, there's so much. There's so many just little. I mean, it's like you said. Like if the other movies didn't exist, it wouldn't hit nearly. I mean, it just wouldn't hit because there's no like fucking foreshadowing and no like alluding to. But like seeing episode 1, 2, and 3, say what you want about some of them, you like it just fucking encapsulates. Like it makes Obi-Wan just so much more of a whole. I mean, even Obi-Wan the show. It's like this man has literally been through fucking hell up and back, and then like he's still standing there and he's still like fucking continuing on trying to teach Luke to become a Jedi, even though he saw what the Jedi did to his best friend and apprentice. Like,
and to him,
violated him. He's an old man. Like he got nothing left, man.
Yeah,
it's so damn good.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I guess we can move right along then to quotes, which I mean, it's a Star Wars movie, so
we already started sounding off on him.
Yeah, exactly. We already hit a couple of them.
Yeah.
Oh, and another scene. Hold on, another scene. Actually, no, that's under my yates. We'll get under that after.
Oh, okay. Whoever wants to go first for some quotes,
take it away.
Okay, I'll tap in just because I know Smoke fucking probably don't got the materials in front of him right now.
Oh no, but fortunately I've seen this movie so many times.
Yeah. Okay. When they're in the prison cell and they're saving Leia, and he's like, we're all fine now. Thank you. How are you? When Han Solo is talking to the person on the other side of the intercom. And even the face he makes, like, fuck, I shouldn't have said that.
or when they're in the prison, you're a little short to be a stormtrooper. I hear that too much. You're a little short.
That's fine. That she violated that. I didn't realize how short Luke was, because at the end, when you have Solo standing beside him, like when they're doing the medal ceremony, he really is a significant part short.
Fucking Harrison Ford's also like 6'2", or 6'3". Like he's tall.
And Mark Hamill isn't a very tall guy. I feel like.
No, I think he's like 5'8" or 5'9".
Yeah, he's like pretty average height.
I mean, another one I like is fucking when C-3PO's like, listen to them, R2, they're dying when they're like happy that they escaped the compactor and it sounds like they're getting crushed. It's all my fault. If only I was quicker.
But see, I wish C-3PO continued to stay like this.
Good night, Hag.
The little bit of comedic effect.
What'd you say again? Can you just say it again, just because it might have cut off?
Oh, I was saying that I wish C-3PO would have stayed like this.
Yeah. I mean, like, I think his best is probably, like, I mean, his best is throughout this entire trilogy. I think there really is no, like, one movie where I think he does better than the others, but he's better in the next two movies just because they kind of, I mean, like, obviously the first movie is, like, you just want to hit the ground.
Yeah.
It's like, you just want to fucking keep going, like, you just want to be able to have a story. And then when you get to 6 and 7 and 8, is it 7 and 8? No. 5 and 6, Jesus. When you get to 5 and 6, then that's when they can start playing around. Like, all right, let's put some intrigue into the story. But right now,
they just have to set the tone in this movie.
Mm-hmm,
I mean,
absolutely,
a world like this, like have to fly.
I mean, like even look at Dune. Like the world building is so complex. Like you have to just to devote an entire movie just like showing you where you are before you can go to different places.
Yeah, like in Dune 1, it barely feels like anything's happening.
Yeah,
it was.
You learn so much about like
because of how much you learn.
Mm-hmm. I got one more. Han Solo when he's like, when was it? I think it was when they got out of the garbage compactor, and he's like, "Oh, if we avoid any more female vice, we ought to be able to get out of here," or something like that. Because I think because it was Leia's idea to jump into the compactor.
Yeah. Side note, I was watching what was it, Scream 4 the other day, and Carrie Fisher makes a cameo in that.
Oh yeah.
But she like is not playing herself, and then she's like, "Nah, they gave it to the girl that slept with George Lucas."
Yes, bro.
Carrie Fisher says that about herself.
Bottom.
What?
They literally have a picture of her looking just like that on the wall, but it's on the bottom. Like not playing her, but it's so that shit is funny, man.
This shit was fucking weak.
Right.
I know we were talking about Scream earlier too, so
R.I.P.
Yeah, fucking rest in peace, bro.
But I mean, that's all I had written down for quotes. But I mean, anything Darth Vader said is fucking. I find your lack of faith disturbing.
There's a lot of movie. I feel like.
Is your mic like? Do you have your mic like fucking like on the against the like the table?
Yes. No,
Hmm.
it's actually sitting on top of a thing right now. Like it's not even touching anything. I don't know how it's still staying. To be honest with you, I've been waiting for it to fall.
I think it's just because of the phone that's they can't differentiate the speaker and the mic at the same time.
Okay.
Let me play.
That's because just because it's like I feel like when you hit a certain like high end, like when you hit a certain high end frequency, it's just like cutting it out. Like it can't fucking pick up with all that shit. I don't know. Whatever. What I mean, Darth. I mean, anything Darth Vader fucking says. I mean, what was the one thing that he said?
The Force is strong with this one.
Yeah. I felt something. Something that I haven't felt since, and he just dips, and he just fucking dips the fuck out. And then his whole ramble about fucking the power to destroy a planet is insignificant compared to the power of the dark side. Whatever he was chatting about.
Fucking the fact that Tarkin was able to just fucking tell Vader to stop.
Yeah, he did. I mean, Tarkin's a fucking bad boy.
That's true. Rest in peace to him. He gets fucking iced up when the Death Star explodes.
Yeah, and IRL too, but I mean that was like 30 years ago. So I mean, I guess it's
that's live.
Yeah, but I mean, he was also a great character too for the limited time he had. I mean, usually the Imperial, like the commanders and stuff, they always do them very well because they're always like super authoritarians. Like they're just fucking douchebags.
Well,
I think that's
keep a leash on Vader, which I think was pretty interesting too. Like this dude would know Vader like bent the knee to him. It was a dynamic. I feel like.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, even when Pitts lays, like I should have expecting you to be holding Darth Vader's leash or something like that.
But I guess, DL, you said you had some moments. I guess good as time as any to hop into them.
I mean, Han Solo chasing that group of stormtroopers has to be right? Like, what the fuck is that? Like, there's like 7 of them. He's like, oh, and he's just fucking one man. And then Chewie follows him too, which is another fucking absurdity. Chewie's like, fuck it. And then he maybe they were regrouping, like, cause obviously there was a whole bunch of clone troopers like in that room that they were running to, but like, turn around, turn around.
Yeah.
If that ended, I don't know what. It's just one of the things where I watch it and it's like, what the fuck is that? Because like he's screaming, Chewie's fucking running up behind him trying to catch up to him. Then all of a sudden he gets there, like 20,000 stormtroopers there. And he just fucking says, fuck it, and then turns around and runs back.
Chewie is fucking me at all times.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that was another one. Fucking when Luke was like, between your blasting and his howling, it's a wonder the whole station doesn't know we're here. When they first got there, like talking about Chewie, because Han was literally shooting his gun every opportunity he got. It was so fucking OD when they're on the station.
Fucking something that I do want to bring up now that we're like talking about it's and stuff is we deal with the Force in this now. And the Force is the biggest crutch to exist.
Oh, yeah. Period. It only gets worse. And it only gets worse, too.
So much worse.
What the Force becomes.
Yeah, exactly. It's like I hope you guys are enjoying the timid Force, because as soon as we start getting to the plot deciding Force, tough.
Yeah, once we get into episodes 2, 3, 7, 9.
When the Force just starts explaining things that are unexplainable. That's fantastic.
The Force. Ugh. Yeah, I have a love-hate relationship with the Force, because like it's epic for what the powers that it do, but like the storytelling purposes behind the Force is fucking stupid, man.
It's not clearly enough defined. I feel like what the limits of the power are later on. Like not so much in this movie, obviously, because it's much smaller scale, and it's actually the Force is almost treated more of like something you control rather than just a power you have. But like later on, the limitations, like what can kill you by doing it, like Luke killing over and all that shit. It's just like I don't understand like what is taxing on you and what isn't when it gets later on in the franchise. It becomes ridiculous.
Your midichlorian count.
Oh yeah, well
no, that was the biggest fucking fuck it I've ever seen. That was literally a Hail Mary. George Lucas calling all these shots when Qui-Gon's talking about his midichlorian count. It's like
midichlorian count than Master Yoda.
It's like
okay.
What does that mean?
It's like we're too late into the game to be fucking calling audibles with fucking midichlorian cans, man. It's too late.
Putting numerical values on the Force, like that's
like
that's the Force for
you.
You know, that's literally just the Force for you.
And that whole shit with Han Solo being Force sensitive or whatever it is, like I don't know about all that. I don't know about all that.
The whole purpose of Han's character is that he's not Force sensitive.
Yeah, exactly. The whole point is that he's the disbeliever out of it. I mean, especially even more so in this movie, where it's like I like the vibe around it, where it's like the Jedi have been gone for so long, where it's like like entire Has it been an entire generation? How long has it been? It's been
like
like
20 years.
Yeah, I mean, I believe that.
Remember, the Galactic Empire formed right when Luke was born.
Yeah,
Luke is as old as the Empire.
true.
Yeah. It was like 20 years, and on top of that, the Empire made it seem like the Jedi were the bad ones that turned on them.
Yeah. So it's like they villainize them to the point like where no one even believes. Like it gets to the point where after a while it's like, all right, did this ever even happen to the same extent so that the way that they hear about it and stuff? I think that's always really interesting when you have like this. Like obviously we know that the Jedi are real and the Force exists, but even when you have Han like, or even Tarkin, where he's like, you're the last remaining survivor of that ancient religion of yours or something like that. Like it's tough.
Yeah, it's interesting how they're like treated like legends.
Mm-hmm.
Or I mean, they don't exist anymore.
Yeah, they got fucking scrubbed.
Yeah, we will definitely see that.
And the only other it had is how deep that trash chute water was. Like how Luke can just get pulled under the water like that, and they can't just
he's gone. Like
like literally, the thing got his leg is like gone. It's like
they can't.
That's it.
But yet they were standing there 2 seconds ago.
Yeah, exactly. It's like literally like it's going up to their ankles, so it's like you should be able to like put your hand down. It's like that's touching the bottom. Like I don't know. And then the creature escaped. It's like where the fuck is it going?
Maybe there was a hole.
I don't know, man.
And like vanishing in water that's deep, like, you should be able to see him.
Yeah, I don't know about all that, but I mean it's more just like me seeing it so many times where it's like the same things get me tight every time I watch it, and like whether or not it's actually like important. I mean, it's up to you guys. You guys decide if you give a fuck. But I mean, it's more just when you've watched a movie as many times as we have, it's like those things that hit you the first time that's always going to be there.
Yeah.
What was another? I feel like there was one more thing. Nah, it's fine. I was gonna say something about like the space battle at the end, but I mean, whatever.
I was thinking about that. I mean, I feel like the Force just speaks away so many moments, like Luke fucking diming out on the Death Star, but it's the Force, right?
Yeah,
I have one.
You turned off your targeting computer. Is everything all right?
How the fuck did R2 survive? R2 was
question.
Hooked, bro.
I mean, he's a droid, right? So, like, even if you have to replace his entire hull, like his entire outside, like, it's as long as his memory's intact. I mean, look, I don't know how droids work. I don't know how droids work. That would be my educated guess. That, like, I mean,
he was looking cool,
yeah, but but he is an astromech, so he can survive in the vacuum of space, which means he's pretty fucking durable.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
But I agree with you. I mean, he was fucked. He was black. Like, he was literally like he was charcoal.
Yeah, he had shit popping out everywhere.
Yeah. But I mean, that's really all I got for you guys. I'm not being that picky. This movie's still very good. I mean, like another fucking weird ass scene is fucking when C-3PO is about to just leave R2 when they're getting purchased, like when the Jawas are selling them. Like C-3PO, he just keeps fucking walking. And then it's like, then they buy the other droid, and R2's just sitting there, and then after the droid blows up, is when he's like, oh, maybe you should get that R2 droid. Like, I don't know. It's like you wouldn't think that these guys actually know each other. I mean, I guess C-3PO
got his mind wiped, didn't he?
Yeah, C-3PO did, yeah.
R2 knows the whole franchise, but
yeah, he's seen it. He's seen the ups and downs, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I got something else for you though.
Oh.
Yeah. I got something nice for you though.
Princess Leia.
Fuck.
Way to play.
Way to fucking play.
Especially when she's fucking sitting down in that cell when Luke pulls up on her. It's like,
when she's laying like that?
It's like, were you getting tortured or were you getting, you know what I'm saying, guys? Like, I don't know.
And the best part is, we ain't even at that best part yet.
Oh yeah, Jabba knows. Jabba knows how to fit his women.
Jabba knows what's up, and we'll get there when we get there.
And we're gonna talk about that too because I have a fucking take on it that's no one's gonna want to hear, especially not Han.
But also, side note with Carrie Fisher, if you peep her hand at some points, you can see her coke nail.
Her what?
She has
the nail she used to do coke.
Yep, her pinky nail is long, just because you could scoop it into the bag and
He did that.
Yeah, that's fucking idiots. What a shame. She really ruined herself. Like, she was fucking...
Well, I'm Carrie Fisher. Got a generation of boys through puberty, this fucking trilogy. Especially episode 6, man.
Ooh.
Don't turn me
that
up.
movie.
We'll get there when we get there. But yeah, unquestionably the only female character in the movie, Princess Leia.
Yeah,
I mean, of course, Han Solo too. For anyone who's looking that way as well, because I mean, he's fucking beautiful. Like there ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about Harrison.
He did not.
Yeah, he's
age well,
ugly.
Unfortunately for him,
he's just like handsome in this movie. Like I think that's the point. Like he's supposed to look
like he's fresh out of a makeup chair every single time you see him. Like he's so perfect.
Perfect and fucking
yeah.
It's like this man's in the middle of a fucking brawl half the movie, and he's always looking A1. It's like, bro, come on.
But I guess then it's time for the question of the week. We're not prepared.
Yes.
Hold on now, everybody. Hold on now.
Brief intermission.
Yeah, no, it's all right. It's all right. We're good.
He's cleaning it up, boys. No worries.
Don't worry about it, ladies and gentlemen. I am taking care of it.
DL is getting in there.
So, over on the Instagram at the Staincast, actually, we're keeping it simple this week. Starting it off the Star Wars trilogy. I'm just curious to know what's your guys' favorite? What's your first Star Wars movie was that you watched? Just know if it's not New Hope, I'm going to judge you. So,
true.
It is what it is. It is what it is. So I asked you guys what was your favorite Star Wars movie, and we got quite a bit of answers. Thank you guys. See, Finally. It's not that hard.
Fucking time.
Hating, catching strays as usual. Olivia Jones said, "Empire Strikes Back." So close. You were so close to New Hope, but I mean that movie.
That's
we're gonna talk.
One, so
we're gonna talk about it next week. I'm not even gonna give my take because I will literally fucking go on the biggest tangent of all time, making out with that movie. Oh no. Jacob said the first reboot one. I'm assuming that means 7. I mean, 8, right? No, that's 7.
No, Force Awakens 7. Yes. I'm just as disappointed as you guys are. Don't you worry.
Moment of silence, everybody. Moment of silence. That's hideous.
Yeah. Come on.
That is like, ugh.
He doesn't like sequels. If that makes you feel any better.
But it's just like, I mean,
it doesn't.
And like these movies, nostalgia on top of it too. Like, New Hope is so nostalgic, man. Like, episode.
Tough. Shake my head. Max, of course, another guy who's rooting for Star Wars, Mr. Maxwell, said A New Hope. Way to play. Good shit. Yes, I needed that. Paco said New Hope, episode 4. Good shit.
Pask.
Way to play, Pask. Chet said A New Hope, but I played the Lego games before I watched any of the movies.
Goated.
Yeah, so Lego games are fucking ridiculous.
So goated.
Oh my god.
Nothing that hits more than beating the level than being able to play any character you want after that. That shit fucking hits. You know, run around as Darth Vader on some random ass fucking
Bro, I
map.
need the Lego Skywalker
that shit hits.
That new game, that shit looks so good.
Yeah, no, I heard that shit's gas. Sling was playing. Sling played it for like 2 weeks straight, and he said that shit was gas.
AJ played it? Is that what you said?
Sling.
Oh, Sling.
Yeah. Willie said New Hope, then the original trilogy before George Lucas went back and edited them.
Goated.
Yep, good man.
Okay, so he watched, okay.
He's talking about this version of the movies. The OG version.
Bro, I literally have that exact set.
Dude, you actually? I have set, I have this set, and I have this set.
Bro, I
know.
You know how fucking gas this is. It's literally the complete saga. And it literally has all of the movies before they were ever edited, too.
Yeah, I got this version. This is Willie's version growing up from when he was a kid. And this is my version when I was growing up as a kid. This is my grandfather's version. I have them all, bro. I have more downstairs, too.
Star Wars is just a thing. I'm going to show my kids Star Wars one day. You have to.
Absolutely.
I mean, bro, I
That's coming of age.
Fucking Star Wars books and shit down here for nothing. Like,
you got to show them the right way, too. I mean, that's what TL did for me and DL. He indoctrinated at a young age. I don't even remember life before Star Wars, honestly.
No, me neither.
Neither do I.
Because, like, I feel like, even if I watched episode 1 first, it was like I watched episode 1, then either we watched New Hope right after or right before. Like, it was like all at once. Because episode 1 was that 2001?
1999.
Yeah, I was at a...
Oh, shit. Okay, never mind then. I wasn't alive.
That was like 2007. I remember.
Yeah.
Went to the Mastic Theater.
Yeah, I remember that. That's hideous.
No,
That's hideous.
let's finish the responses, then we'll tap in ours, of course.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you guys already said before, and Willie said also my shit was on VHS.
Yes,
Hell
sir.
yeah.
I still have it.
Yep. Mumbarilla said episode 3.
Yes, yes.
Nah, that ain't right, bro.
I'm fine with that.
It's like watching like the last season of Breaking Bad, but not the previous season. It's like you can't. There's no payoff.
Exactly.
This shit fucking.
Look.
Oh shit.
It is my favorite movie of all time. So
Oopsies. I seem to have lost my wire. Oops. All right. And then Mr. Brian Arachi said, "What the fuck happened? What did I do?" Mr. BJI said, "Empire Strikes Back, absolute classic." You're so close. I'll give it to you. Anyone who said Empire Strikes Back, you're close enough. As long as you're in the OT. If you started in the OT,
yeah,
ginormous plays.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think I already gave my spiel on it. Like I was young. Like I know, like Smoke said, I was probably legitimately like 4 years old, if not younger, when I watched it for the first time. So God only knows what I watched first. I'm gonna say it's probably something from. It had to be in the OT. I don't know though, because I know Pops definitely had the VHS shit.
Yeah, Pops. I feel like he would have known the start is at 4. Like, as he's that much of a scrub.
True.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in the same boat as you guys. Like, my grandfather showed me Star Wars from a young age because he would watch.
Yeah.
I would watch them with him. Like, the earliest memories I have is watching episodes like 4. I remember like one of the most vivid scenes I have is watching the droid factory.
For me, it's 2 for some reason.
Yeah, the droid factory scene.
Yes,
from
2.
Yes.
That shit's a fever dream, bro. That shit's a fever dream for no reason.
I fucking like that's the one thing I remember being a kid watching that on the fucking little tube TV. It would pull out like I had the whole memory of it, but for some reason
it's so fucking weird. Yeah. It's like the noises and everything too. Everything that was going on in that shit was so weird.
Getting stuck, his lightsaber getting chopped in half, and
C-3PO becoming like a battle droid for a second or something like that.
Shit's a fever dream.
So weird.
Fucking
so
love that
weird.
scene. Like that was one of my earliest experiences with Star Wars. Like that scene alone just sticks with me.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean that's all I got. I think we kind of spoke on that already.
Yes, of course.
I guess that means we're just going into the numbers.
Thank you guys for actually responding.
Yes, I forgot to say that.
This weekend, of course, you guys already know that next week is The Empire Strikes Back, so we'll have a nice meaty question for you this week. I gotta cook that up already.
Only going.
Yeah, it's literally only going to go up from here.
Yes. So, all right. I guess it's time for the numbers then. Let's take a little. Oh my God.
I'm not going to be surprised by this. I feel like.
Holy smokes.
All right, what are we looking at?
31% of people, almost a third of the people gave it a 10.
Oh my God.
Is it not loading for you?
Not yet, no.
It is for me.
Oh, not for me, but just continue talking because it'll still be in the video, so I can.
Let me just do it again.
Okay.
Yeah, let me try to do it again, just so you can see that shit. See it?
Yep, there it is. Holy shit!
Okay. Yeah, talk about holy top heavy. Oh my God. Okay.
The 1.3% who gave this a 1.
Hating.
Yeah, haters right there.
OD haters, but yeah, pretty much, and that's about how much of them exist. 18,394. That's how many people like Star Trek.
I'm not a single person that likes Star Trek.
I mean, like to the same extent as Star Wars or any of stuff. No, like it's not one of those franchises that has that name value where it's like you literally say like May the Force be with you, and everyone's fucking saying, and also like the same shit. Yeah. But it's like Star Trek. It's like what you're gonna do the fucking Spock thing. Like all right, maybe that's close, but regardless, getting off track here. Shout out to the 19,000. Star Trek fans. I mean, this is a big numbers. You guys have to keep in mind too. This shit came out in 1977, literally 30 years before the internet, on or about. So it's like you have 1.4 million people who doubled back. Dinner's ready. So yeah, I mean, there's not that much to break down here. Like this is a ridiculous amount of people just in the 8, 9, 10.
That is nuts. How many people have
that's like literally
over a million, 1.3 million people have reviewed this.
Yeah, it's like this is literally what 60%, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 70%.
Just about.
Shit, bro. No, more than that because you have the 6s and the 3s too. Holy fuck.
Yeah.
Well, regardless, that's a lot. So as you guys can tell, this is like the definition of a cult classic with numbers like these.
Yeah.
Going down to the goodies, shocker, they're all very highly rated. Highest one is definitely going to be. Wow, that's pretty shocking.
No, it's not.
The highest one is
when it came out.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You're right.
Those are the
You're right.
people.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So the highest one is 45 plus. I mean, it's like you said. For some reason, it didn't set in that this movie came out in 1977 because you wouldn't think it by watching it. To be honest, it's a very pretty
It cleaned up well.
What's even the word for it? Yeah, exactly. It just aged very well. Like it's like all.
Well, I feel like.
Mm-hmm. That's true. Very true. Because I would even say that this movie aged well than like episode 1 in terms of like it's CGI.
Yeah, that's true. That is very true. Episode 1.
Yeah, but I mean, as you guys can see, this is pretty much the goal. This is like when you're making a movie, you want this. You want literally all of these being within 0.3 for the most part. Like it's a pretty consistent view. Like everyone who's watching it is enjoying it. Yeah. Like I'll tell you guys the average was an 8.6. But yeah. Like anyone who watched this movie, like chances are, like statistically speaking, if you watch this movie, you're giving it over a 7, which is fucking crazy. Mm-hmm. Or a 7 or over. Like that's very impressive. But that was the numbers. Nothing too much to speak on again this week. I mean, this is literally fucking Star Wars, so I don't know if you guys were expecting it to be like 50% of people giving it a 1% or something.
Yeah, and wait, we'll get to those when we get to the fucking sequels because I'm sure those will be very polarizing.
The problem is, I feel like there's going to be the same. It's going to be like the offset, where it's like so many people giving it 1s, and then so many people are going to give it 10s as a response to it.
That's what I'm saying. It's very polarizing.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I just got the wind sucked out of me thinking about the sequel trilogy. So
yeah, I'm tight already. That's why I'm shaking my head thinking about it.
But now to the only numbers that matter.
Yes, sir.
Time to tap in.
I just wrote mine down. Just figured out my final thoughts. Because I like doing that as we talk
about
discuss.
All right, so Smoke, you're familiar with our rating system, right? It's out of 4? Okay. So, story and writing is going to be our first category, and shocker, 4 for me.
It sucks.
Yeah.
This movie's awful.
Yeah. Terrible writing, terrible story, I
can't.
Oh my god. Yeah, exactly. It's like for all the reasons I've said previously, like the writing is just like the characters have purpose. Like there's like honestly a decent ensemble of cast. Like you have Chewie, fucking C-3PO, R2, Luke, Han, Leia. Yeah, it's like there's a lot going on. And like it honestly fucking it's a good looking movie. It just feels good to watch. Like it doesn't have that. It's not super predictable, but at the same time, it's not like they didn't try to go too sci-fi where everything is just like a clusterfuck. Like I appreciate that. Yeah. That's really all I got. This movie's amazing.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, like it set the standard. Like, it's not this. All the movies that have come after it, nobody's gonna say any movie but this inspired them in terms of sci-fi. Like Dune, that shit reeks of this movie. Like, it just set the standard for what a sci-fi epic should be.
Yeah,
it's timeless.
Even I will say, I mean, even though it is true that Dune came out before, but I mean, fucking, who cares? Popularization wise,
looks like the script of that. The way the characters talk, the pace, setting, it just feels like Star Wars.
Absolutely.
Yeah, everything is like it's written very well. The dialogue as well. The charisma between all the casts and the chemistry as well. It's all done really well. I mean, story's a 4 without a doubt.
Absolutely. And then I guess jumping over to the acting, this one was difficult. I think I'm going to give it a 3 just because, I mean, at the end of the day, it's still older movies. Like, I've said it before, I'm not a huge fan of some acting styles back in the day just because people have a tendency to overact or, like, they just doesn't really come off as, like, super sincere or genuine. So I'd give it a 3 just because of, like, the shit with Jabba was kind of hideous. Yeah, I mean, it's tough. Like, I want to give it a 4, but I just don't think I could give this movie a 4. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I agree with you 100%. I also gave it a 3. I mean, it just everyone that's in it is good, but it's also the beginning of their careers. We know what they can do in the future. Like it's just it's very basic in this.
Yeah, it's like if this movie was a standalone movie, this acting would not be even at a 3 probably. Like it'd probably be like a 2. But it's like we see where these characters go and we see the progression.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
What do you guys got?
I have 3 as well, like I said.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 3 sounds about right. And like maybe 0.5, because like you said, in a vacuum, like there's no brilliant performances by any means. Like I'm not like starstruck or like awestruck watching these people. Like it's entertaining, and I think that they're great. But like you said, like Mark Hamill is probably in his 20s. Harrison Ford is in his 20s. Carrie Fit, like these are young actors who have, this is their first blockbuster. These aren't like established vets in the industry that have been acting for years. Like they haven't, like they're still like young, man. They haven't developed or gotten a feel for these characters yet. Like ask me in episode 6 what I think of the acting, and I'll tell you a completely different than episode 4 right now.
Yeah, absolutely. I guess going on to originality, I mean, I don't think anybody really expected anything less. It's getting a 4. I mean, what George Lucas was able to pull out of his ass to craft and to become the sensation, the ginormous galaxy that is Star Wars and everything that encompasses it, and everything that was based off of it or has then inspired this entire franchise deserves nothing less than a 4 for originality.
Absolutely.
100.
I mean, it's like even in the first movie, we're going to different planets. Like I would have honestly, I would have been very forgiving if we stayed like in 1 or 2 planets, but I feel like we kind of were. Like, I mean, I guess we only went to Tatooine. There you saw Alderaan. Yeah, okay, never mind. Because then you saw, was it Yavin? No, they were at a pretty decent amount of planets considering it's the first movie. Yeah, so that's pretty impressive too.
No.
Yeah, I feel like Star Wars, like, can't, especially not this. You can't give it anything but a. This was the.
Container's ready.
Bro,
chill out with that shit. No, I feel like it's. I just feel like this, like again, like we were saying before, it's like George Lucas is like a visionary. Like he's on like this pedestal of like the Tolkiens and the George R. R. Martins of the world. Like they're just naturally gifted at building universes. Like how are you supposed to do that? Make up things that don't exist, places, languages, people, like,
and to have them intersect so like so naturally to feel like it actually exists.
Like there's not a moment where I'm watching this thinking like, wow, this seems fake as shit. Like I could believe. Universe that exists, I could see myself living it. Like that is not easy to do.
No,
no.
That's just credit.
The fact,
like I have.
And the fact that the world building gets better in every single movie, like even the sequels, to an extent, still do like have that level of world building.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like, yeah, exactly. Say what you want about the writing. Like, obviously, at the end of the day, Star Wars is still fucking cream of the crop when it comes to, like, its shots, its locations, like, its just effects and stuff, especially newer ones. But it's like, obviously, I think the story has suffered as a result, but I could still completely agree with you with, like, it's still a Star Wars story at its core, even if some of the characters aren't from Star Wars. Or shouldn't have been.
Yeah, but then going into
what else we got?
Rewatchability.
So I give it a 2 just because I think. Hold on, what were you gonna say?
Damn, bro, you cut me off.
I'm already. No, okay, my bad. Oh my fucking god!
It's dinner time. Enjoy.
I had to mute it real quick. All right. So I'm gonna say 2, and hear me out because it's kind of long, and it exists in the same world where it's in a trilogy with Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
It's like the opportunity cost is just ginormous. It's fucking huge. It's like, all right, spend 2 hours plus watching this movie, or literally watch 2 of the other movies that precede it.
Yeah, I mean,
it's fucking.
I also gave it a 2 because, like we were talking about earlier, if I'm putting on a Star Wars movie, it is one of the last ones I'm putting on. I'm putting on 3, 4. I'm sorry, 3, 5, 6. Rogue One even before I'm putting this on. Like this movie is so good because of everything that comes around it.
Right, exactly. And I think that's like the most important takeaway from this is that this movie is unholy important. Like it's literally establishes the world that this takes place in. Like you can't just jump right into the action and the characters and all the stories if we don't know where the fuck we are and who these people are and what their relationship is. Like you need to lay the foundation like that. And like, yeah, it's not as much fun to rewatch, but it's wholly important to this entire film. I would give it that sounds about right.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more with that. pretty much what I was gonna say.
And this is also saying that there is no, besides the sequels, Star Wars movie that I would never rewatch.
Sure.
I'd debate you with Han Solo. With Solo. Solo's kind of mid.
I mean, it's mid, but it's not bad. Like it's also quick at least.
I kind of movie, honestly.
I mean, it's very forgettable.
It's all right.
We'll get into that. We'll get into that when time comes.
Yeah.
Let's go.
I mean,
I love
the next category. I mean, what were you gonna say, Smoke? Sorry, before I cut you off.
saying that Solo's got Emilia Clarke in it. That's the only thing.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's true, and that pretty cool Darth Maul thing. But like, that doesn't make a movie good, unfortunately. I wish it did. I wish it did.
We got a couple weeks before we tap into Solo, so
yeah. But the easiest thing I've said all day, cinematography.
It's getting a 4.
Yeah.
We've
absolutely. If I could give it a higher score, I would.
We've literally been talking this entire time about how well shot it is, how well put together it is. Literally from the smallest.
It's like how Avatar was like this generation's like kind of like baseline for CGI is how Star Wars was practical for making space like just fantasy movies and stuff. Like I'm sure all the techniques he used were used in every single other like picture that's even similar to that concept.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
the shit's crazy. Like the shit that they were cooking up, him and I forgot who it was, the other executive producer. They were chefing. Like
yeah,
the stuff they were doing doesn't even make sense, and that shit was working.
It's masterful. I mean, there's the beautiful shot. I mean, we were saying before, Luke staring at the two suns is so iconic. So like it just means so much.
Yeah.
Like that shot alone deserves the 4. And these are the types of shots we're talking about when we say that some of these movies that we reviewed in the past doesn't get the 4 because it doesn't have this type of shots that stand out to you.
It's like if you can just pause the movie and just stare at like the subject, it's like, all right, you're doing something right. Like I'm like, there's no video component to it. It just becomes a picture at that point. Like it becomes like,
it's like
I don't know. It's hard to explain.
At Thanos' army in Endgame.
Yeah,
right.
It's like it's something that you just. Ugh.
It's just like one of those things where like when the story and the setting interwoven so much like that. Like The Last of Us is very similar, where like it's just the part of the world is what makes it so interesting. And like this is just another example of that. It's like I don't know, man. The whole universe is so beautiful, and like this is what gets you hooked, and like it also gets you interested in Luke. Like the visual storytelling they do, like every scene, every shot tells a story, and that's what makes it deserving of a 4. Like you're not gonna have like there's no shot is an accident in this movie, and I feel like that's what's important.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed.
Absolutely.
But I guess adding that all up for me, that puts Star Wars Episode 4: A New Hope at a 17 out of 20.
Same here.
Yeah, I think all of our grades ended up being the same.
We had the same thing across the board, which I mean just goes to show how truly long-lasting, how truly epic, and how truly of a masterpiece this movie is.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it started
it's dinner time. Enjoy.
Jesus, it started.
I had to pause my shit.
It started such a phenomenon with Star Wars, and that means so much to all of us. That I mean, it gets all the recognition it deserves. Not the best movie in the franchise, but nowhere near the worst either.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah, for sure. And it's just like it's just such a great like. This is how you write characters that people like and feel authentic. It's like how could you like as a young boy like not like empathize with Luke? Like when he's just sitting there and he knows that he's better than this dirt shit, and he's just staring at those suns and the music plays. It's like you feel that shit, man. It's like this dude, like everybody feels it. It's like you feel like you're better for something, and it's just that's just how you do it. It's just chef's kiss.
It's
movie
great.
I feel
and if somehow you're watching this video with never watching Episode 4 before, go fucking watch this thing, man.
Like, yeah, what the fuck?
No excuse.
Haven't watched it yet.
If you haven't watched it yet, it's looking slow for you in every sense of the word.
Yeah.
I can't. I can't associate.
If you haven't seen this movie, watch it. If you haven't seen this movie in a while, watch it. If you saw this movie last week, fucking watch it again. It deserves it all.
Why not?
Yeah, it deserves it all. It's great, and you know you'll have a great time.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's just. I mean, just a little final remarks. I mean, it's like the quintessential family movie. It's like if you need something, whether you want to actively watch it or put it in the background, like it's just so versatile. Where it's like the characters, like how what groups of people can watch. I mean, look at the IMDb ratings. It just shows it. Where it's like no matter what age you are, no matter what walk of life you come from, no matter what generation you come from, it's like the story is just timeless. I mean, it's
exactly
all right. I'm gonna say it now, and I'm gonna say it again. And you guys can hate on me because it's a pretty big hyperbole, but Star Wars is the greatest story of bad and evil ever told.
I can agree with you.
Oh no, I said it. I said it. So
oh yeah, 100%. I mean, it's literally based off the hero's journey. Like it's literally a direct adaptation of that whole concept, and it's like
it's great.
It's dinner time. Enjoy.
All right, just so that way you guys can go enjoy your fucking dinner. Because it's dinner time.
Yeah, so if anyone is watching this, I wonder whose dinner it is right now.
It's dinner time.
So, thank you, Smoke, for tuning in, and I know you'll be back in later on in the franchise. Thank you, everybody, for tuning into this week's episode on A New Hope. We hope you guys enjoy our coverage of Star Wars as it continues over the next couple of months. Next week,
only getting better.
Yes, sir. Next week, of course, we are getting better with Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back. DL's personal favorite. He's getting excited.
Oh!
And of course, stay tuned for Saturday. We're at the Staincast on Instagram. We will post a question of the week, as well as, subscribe, like, comment, go over to our Instagram, click the link in our bio for the merch. Am I missing anything? I don't think so. I think that's it.
Just check out the post coming on Saturday for Empire Strikes Back and vote on the question of the week. Unless you already said that.
Yes. And a little bit of an announcement. Episode 6, we do have to record ahead of time. We'll give you more details about that, but there might not be a question of the week for that episode.
Okay.
So, but thank you guys again, and we'll see you next week.